This is the first of a series of discussion starters in 2 Corinthians, beginning in chapter 1. And today we're looking at chapter 1, verses 1 through 11. Where are you investing? Where are you investing? In other words, if you're investing something, that means you have something that you have in your control, your hands, and you're able to put it in a place to compound it, to make it grow, to make it more than what it started out. You invest. And many of us know the principles of investment, the principles of 72 and things like that. Have we ever taken those concepts into our Christian world and thought of it that way? As we go into 2 Corinthians, and you'll find all the discussion starters on 1 Corinthians on the Lower Deer Creek website, and you can get them there if this interests you at all. As we look at 2 Corinthians chapter 1, we see the normal greetings that Paul would give the congregation and any congregation he wrote to. Then he goes into verse 3 and talks about the praise to God the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all of our troubles so that we can comfort those in any trouble with a comfort we ourselves have received from God. If we can think of anybody who had troubles, we can think of Paul. He'd been through a great deal. And in all those troubles, he was still reaching out to the churches and still preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ and still trying to help the congregations as they were emerging, especially in Asia Minor. So many times when we as Christians get into situations like COVID-19, we tend to turn in on ourselves and think of our own little circle. In fact, I think in these days, some of our churches have done the same thing and just turned in on themselves in their own little circles. If there's anything I've learned in the midst of this COVID virus, is there's a great deal of hurt in the country and in our communities. You know, as I think of my own situation and the pain that we've gone through this last year, I began to realize that we don't really have it as bad as some others. And then when I think about Christ, I think about the investment that he's made in my life, and I realize that he made that investment in my life so that I, from the comfort I've been given, invested in me because of who Christ is, the salvation he's brought to me through the cross, the freedom he's given me from my sin, the call that he's laid upon my life. That investment and the comfort that I have knowing that God's got a future for me, then I can reach out and comfort someone else. I think of this backdrop and realize that my wife invested in a Sunday school class, and this was the backdrop of the last class that she taught at Lower Deer Creek. And just a little challenge on the side, those kids are probably in high school. I believe they're in high school now. And if any of those kids come forth and give me a call, I'll send them $20, just if they remember this backdrop, especially if they know who drew it. It's a way of saying that investment is still going on, that she invested back then. And then I want you to think around your community, your friends and neighbors, the person next door, maybe the person in the lot behind you. How can you invest in their comfort? God has invested in us as Christians. How can we invest in the lives of others, the comfort that's been given to us through Jesus Christ, so that we can comfort others? I believe one of the principles of the kingdom is that we not only take unto ourselves the wonderful riches that Christ has invested into us, but more important than that is that we invest that comfort into the lives of others. That might mean just giving them a call and listening to them on the phone. It might mean sending them an email every day or every other day. I had a friend reach out to me with a phone call and an invitation to a lunch, and it meant the world. It doesn't take much to comfort someone in these kinds of times. I'd invite you to think about it. These videos are available on the YouTube channel under Don Patterson. Share them as you will.